Welcome, guys. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Yee! And today we are going to be reacting to a Mr. Nightmare video. Yeah, I can't wait. This one is called uh three th- three true scary pizza horror stories, Volume 5. I can't wait. Anyway, please subscribe, turn on notifications, click the bell beside you. Anyway, let's jump right on to it, shall we? Yeah. Anyway, let's jump right onto it, shall we? Oh, subtitles on? No, those damn subtitles, they're not even on.
Age of 17, I was working as a pizza delivery boy for a local pizza place. I was doing it for months by this point. I had done countless deliveries already. My first car was an old, cheap Toyota, so it was perfect for bopping around town with. It was a Friday or Saturday night. I was working the closing shift, which was 12 a.m. It was open later on weekends. This was towards the end of the night, past 11 for sure.
That would suck, working at a pizza delivery shop, and it's at night time. That'd be the worst. I'm just gonna close my. But yeah, it'd be the worst. I'd be scared. Yeah, ugh. You could, you'd have, you'd bump into a lot of creeps and a lot of weirdos and a lot of scariness. I'd hate to be a pizza delivery person and work at night time. It'd be the worst.
My boss, who I'll just call Mario, would always give me the details of the
Mario,
heads that the delivery team got their order
not
on.
Mario.
He had an order for one pie to a woman named Karen, ironically. It was an unusually long drive away, about
Don't worry,
15
she
minutes.
won't be a
Most
Karen.
orders come locally around the area, like 5 minutes away on average. I expected a better tip for this reason. I brought the pizza to my car and off I went, listening to my usual playlist on the way. I pulled down the block of the address and pulled up in front of the house. It was a small sized house, as were most of the houses in the area. It seemed to be a lower income area. The lights were on in one of the rooms on the first floor. I was approaching the door when suddenly a woman called out from a window from the house next door, saying, "Excuse me, that pizza is for us. We gave the wrong address." So I walked next door to the front door
How
and
did
saw
they
that the
give out
doorbell
the
was
wrong
open.
address?
So I opened the storm door and knocked really loud on the main door. There wasn't an answer for a good 30 seconds, so I knocked again. And I heard a woman's voice on the other side yell, "1 second," but they still took forever to open the door. Another minute passed before the door
Sus.
finally opened, and a woman in probably her mid-40s answered the door. She right away smiled at me and gave this flirtatious head-to-toe stare at me as if she were checking me out. She said in a very loud voice, "Chels, come look how handsome the delivery boy is."
Nah,
Another woman about the same age came over to the door.
I'd just go say, "Oh, I'm gay," and get the fuck up on out there. But of course, he's not gonna do that because he's a man. Man would be intimidated. No, but like in this situation, even if I wasn't gay or straight, I don't really identify as anything. But let's just say I wasn't gay, I was straight. I would just say oh, because they're checking that you're already in a very weird environment. Like that was very suspicious that they called out for the other like window. I'm very tired at the moment. Out the other window, and it was one of the neighbors. It's like, what? Why would you give out your wrong address anyway in the first place? It makes you look suspicious to begin with. Like, why?
The same thing. Right away, I felt my cheeks getting red, as I was a bit shy around older women like that. The
What?
woman who opened the door, who I'm assuming was Karen, asked me what time I get off work. That was when I started getting really nervous because I wasn't good at flirting with women at that age. I said, "This is
Wait,
probably
how
my
old is
last
this
delivery."
guy?
one of the women asked me if I wanted to come in and have some wine with them.
No.
I knew my friends would all rip on me forever if I blew this opportunity, so I said, yeah, sure. They asked how
Um,
old I was.
you can't do that. That's actually against the policies. You're at work. You can't just you can't just go into some random person's house while you're still on shift. What's next? You're gonna start drinking on the job? You can't do that. This story is frustrating. There's a lot of bullshit in this story. Like, come on now. What? Your friends aren't even here. How are they gonna know about this anyway? You could just not tell your friends that you did this. Do you tell your friends everything? This is so stupid. So dumb.
I said 21. Then they both laughed.
21?
One of them said they don't care if I'm under 21. They told me to sit on the couch, so I did. They both sat on either side of me. This whole encounter felt too good to be true to me. Nothing like this had ever happened to me before. I had a feeling these two women were already very drunk. From here, the women are both being very flirty with me, commenting on my dimples, saying how cute my shyness was, and all this stuff.
Ugh.
I was drinking some wine, pretending like it didn't taste disgusting to me, because I didn't drink wine at that age at all. The woman Chelsea started saying that they want to show me something in the basement. I laughed and said, "What is it?" They both laughed and said, "It's a secret, but that I'll like what it is." They wanted me to go down first.
Red flags out the ass. Seriously? Like, all the signs, and you're still going with it. Seriously? Seriously? Stupid. You stupid idiot.
Honestly, I had my own fantasy about what was going to happen in the basement. Unfortunately, it was nowhere near that. I walked over to the doorway of the basement and
Why?
looked down into the darkness below. I looked back at them and noticed they weren't laughing anymore. They had these blank faces. Only until they noticed me look back at them, they started to laugh and smile again. I said in a firm voice, "What's down there?" They said almost in unison, "It's a surprise." I started to walk slowly down into the basement,
Why?
asking where the light switch is. One of them said, "Leave the lights off."
You
Now, this part I'm
stupid
not
idiot.
100% certain of, but I was looking down into the basement, and I thought I saw something move. Something as in a person's arm or hand. I turned around and saw the two women weirdly creeping towards the door sneakily. I stepped out of the basement and shut the door. I
Why?
fell to my knees
Like, why would you
and
even.
I nervously walked
You
around
were
the
on
apartment to the front
shift,
door.
me boy.
This was when I spotted the towering, huge man standing in the doorway of an adjacent room, probably the kitchen. His five words have stayed with me all these years later. He said, "Let's just make this easy." I turned for the door and said the pizza's free. I ran to open it and slammed it behind me, only to hear it open seconds later. I got in my car, locking the door first thing. That man was
You just
already
asked
outside
for
pretending
this.
he was helping me to let
Seriously.
me in. He tried opening the door and then knocked on the glass. I put it in drive and got out of there not looking back. I got back to work and told my boss what happened and why I came back empty handed. He and the rest were in shock. I called the non-emergency number
I
to
would have
inform
got
them
him
after, just
fired.
in case if anything else should be reported at that address again. The police would know something awful's going on in that house.
Did you
They had a
tell him
few
the whole
motives I could look
truth?
into. Thank God I didn't find out what it was.
Oh, thank God that you escaped in time. Otherwise, those people would have attacked you. Yeah, that story was infuriating. Like, why would you even drink? Why would you even do shit? You're on the job. Like, you can't be doing that. Yeah, that's a 0 out of 10. That was not scary at all. No, I'm kidding. That was about a 10 out of 10 for stupidity. Like, why? You're on the job. Like, what? For scary, I guess about 7. Like, it was scary, but it all could have been avoided if you just had. And did you lie to your boss too? Like, did you not? Did you just happen to be like, oh yeah, uh, this is what went down, yada yada. I'm not gonna mention that the girls flirted. Did you miss some missing details? Because you would have been fired, me guy. You can't be doing that on the job. Anyway, Stupid story. It was terrible. Like, come on now. Come on now.
When I was 19 years old, I was still working at a nearby pizza place to help pay for food and gas and stuff. The job was always pretty easy. Just taking the order, boxing up the food and
Hopefully
stuff,
this one won't
putting
be
it in
as
a bag, and
stupid.
driving it to the given address. I'd done it a million times before, and nothing weird ever happened. It was very repetitive. Tips would usually be around $3 to $5, depending on the distance. Sometimes more generous people would give 10 or more, though. I remember this order was just a chicken parm gyro and a regular slice. Smaller orders like this usually yielded lesser tips, but I didn't have a choice in which deliveries I did. I was on my way to the address. Of course, the house was apparently on a dead end block. This block had a more rural feel to it than the rest of the neighborhood. One of the houses had an RV sitting on the grass with a small patch of woods next to it. The other houses looked like little farmhouses. There was a lot more space on this particular street. And then I pulled up to the address. It was this small, weird looking house with a huge property, though. It sat next to what appeared to be an abandoned house with overgrown grass and shrubs. It was probably
Not
around 6 p.m. It
suspicious
was
at
getting
all.
pretty dark out, so it was around the time people would start putting on their lights inside their houses. But all the lights in the house were off, and I noticed the front door seemed cracked open. I began to walk over to the front door, and I heard a piano being played. It sounded like it was a couple rooms away at least, muffled by some walls or a door or something. I knocked on the door and then rang the bell after a few minutes. The
Hell
doorbell
no.
didn't work. The piano was still playing.
Don't go on
It felt weird just walking in, so I walked around the property towards the back. The backyard was a literal mess. Things scattered all over the grass. I even saw a broken, rusty chain link fence just sitting in the middle of the yard. I went to the back door and knocked really loud. I looked through the glass of the door and saw nothing except for what looked like a really messy storm room. Clearly, these people were not neat freaks, to say the least. When nobody answered the back door either, I went back around front and called one of the guys at the pizzeria to confirm the address with him. He took a second to check what he wrote down, and he confirmed that I was at the correct address. So I went back to the front door, pushed it open, and heard the creepy sounding piano music still playing.
What would you even do in this scenario? Like, seriously, you got some creepy ass piano in the background, and you know the property is very suspicious. Like, your grass looks like it has been cut in like 10 years. Your picket fence is kind of like broken. Like, everything doesn't look. Everything looks out of the the ordinary. Like, nothing. Like, I wouldn't be stepping into the house. I would just leave the pizza at the door. I'd just say, pizza's here, leave it at the door, and be on my merry way. Hell no. God no. Because I don't know if he's tipping him or whatever, but God no. I wouldn't be in that scenario.
I yelled, "Pizza's here." The piano stopped. Someone yelled, "Over here." Then the piano resumed. They were playing this simple yet creepy repetitive song. There were also no lights on in this house,
God
so it was
no.
almost hard to see in there. I walked straight, getting closer to the sound of the music.
Woo!
The smell inside the house was very musty and off-putting. I got halfway into, I guess, what you call a foyer. I felt very
This one's
uncomfortable.
very
I wasn't
eerie.
going to go any further. I yelled about the front door, sir. The music stopped, this time for good, and now there was just silence. I backed towards the door again so that I would be closer to the outside. I was expecting to hear footsteps coming towards me, but no, it was just dead silent. I said, "Sir," and a voice from another room said, "Yes, sorry, I have trouble walking. Could you just bring it in here, please?" I asked, "What room are you in, sir?"
Nah, hell no.
He took a moment to answer back. "You just walk through the living room. I'm in the dining room." There were no directions on the phone to do any of this, so this was very strange. I thought for a second about my next course of action. I felt bad, leaving in the case that this was some old, feeble man just living in a messy house. I started walking through the living room,
Why?
that led to what I
Why?
presumed to
It's
be
a
the dining
similar
room.
story to the
The
other
only
one. Not
shower
as
was
bad,
attached
but
to the
it's not
center ledge
great.
door.
Why would you even go walk through the living room? This guy is getting off bad vibes anyway. Like, hell no. You can get your pizza here. You know, I came all this way here. You don't have to be so sus about it. You know, you're giving out eerie vibes. Like, I wouldn't be walking through the house. God no. Especially with your creepy ass piano playing. Stupid.
Was still suspicious. Instead of walking straight into the dining room, I peeked around the wall just enough for one eye to see into the room. I saw the piano, but there was no one sitting at it. I also didn't see anyone in the entire room. With that, I quietly but quickly walked back towards the front door, shut the door behind me, and drove back to the pizzeria. I explained that I got a sketchy vibe inside the house. I
It's
lost it
very
completely
sketchy.
understanding, especially when the alleged customer didn't call back asking why I left. That said everything. I didn't really understand the logic in trying to commit a robbery in your own house, nor did my boss or coworkers. So later that night after work, I looked up that address, and that house was foreclosed on months ago, and it had been vacant. When I told this to everyone, they had the same mouth-dropping reaction I did. I was truly mere steps away from probably getting robbed. That, or someone was trying to play a horrible prank on an unsuspecting pizza delivery guy.
Hell no. That one was about 8. I was gonna go 7.5. I could go 7.5 because nothing really happened. But I'll go an 8 because it was very eerie. It was too eerie. And that sent chills down my spine. I'll go 7.5. I mean, it wasn't like nobody died or nobody was in your house, but it. Oh, I've got the chills. That one was definitely more scarier than the last one. Definitely more scarier. Holy shit, yeah. Oh, hell no. Like, I wouldn't even go into random people's homes to begin with. Like, why would you even go back in that home? Why would you even go in the building? Second time someone's gone into a building. What is wrong with these pizza delivery guys? Like, seriously. What is wrong with you guys? Woo! Damn!
It was my last week working at an Italian restaurant. It was a half pizzeria, half Italian restaurant, so my duties would switch from shift to shift. Sometimes I'd work the front register in the pizzeria, sometimes I'd be a busboy in the restaurant side, and sometimes I'd be doing deliveries. I liked doing deliveries the most because I'd make tip money. So it was ironic that I left this job with a horrible, scarring experience doing a delivery. It was a late night delivery. Of course, this is when the tricky things happen. We got an order for three specialty pizzas. It was a big order, probably like $70 worth of pizza. It was on the bad side of town. It was
Jeez,
still
that's
like the minor bad
expensive for
side.
pizza.
I think I drove a crappy old Civic and wouldn't draw any negative attention around my area. Or so I thought. It was a 15-minute drive at least. And when I got to the house, I went up to ring the bell. The door opens within seconds. This Latino man opens the door halfway, sees the pizzas, opens it fully, exposing the pistol in his hand. I'm not a gun person, but if I had to guess, I'd say it was a Colt 45. But I wasn't really paying attention to what kind of gun it was. My heart basically dropped out of my ass at the first sight of it and realizing the situation. Then two more Latino men came to the door and grabbed me while the first one still had me at gunpoint. They were yelling and
Holy
smacking.
shit. Damn. That took a turn, dark turn. The fuck? Whoo! Damn, held you at gunpoint. What would you even do in that situation? Like, obviously, you can't do anything because the people are grabbing you, and also you're being held at gunpoint. Like, what? What would you even do in that scenario? Jeez, holy shit!
Punch at each other. Then the guy with the gun says in broken English, "Give me all of your stuff." I said okay, as I could barely breathe or speak due to my panic. I grabbed my wallet, which was all I could really offer him. He then yelled, "Phone." I gave him my phone as well. It was a Motorola Razr, the iPhone of the 2000s, pretty much. One of them even forcibly grabbed my wrist and yanked off my watch. Thankfully, it wasn't an expensive watch. After this, one of them grabbed my ID out of my wallet and read out my address. Then they threatened me, basically saying if I told anybody about this, they'd come to my address and kill my whole family. I said, okay, I
Damn,
understand.
Jesus
I wanted to try to help
Christ!
and for my life, but I couldn't. They then pushed me out of the house down the stoop, causing me to land on my hands and knees and start to bleed. They slammed the door
What
shut,
the
and all I
fuck?
had left on me now were my keys. I didn't return back to the pizzeria. I was too shaken and disturbed. I went home, noticeably quiet and shaky. My parents picked up on it. They also saw my scuffed up shorts and my bloody knees. They knew something was wrong, and they tried prying it out of me. I had to tell them the truth. I told them I was robbed at gunpoint on a delivery. They had our address and threatened to come kill us if I reported them. My dad, who had connections with the police department, right away called the number of one of his close friends, and they immediately did a background check of the person living in that house. His name was Rodrigo. He had 4 prior felony convictions. And so, my dad, with the help of his police connections,
Yeah,
drawing this up for the man
bitch.
with the gun, had a squad of police cars surround the house and enter the house with their guns drawn. I wasn't there, of course, but we heard a description of the scene through my dad's connections. 2 of the 3 men were still in the house and were arrested and charged. The man who had 4 convictions already got a life sentence. One of the guys by his side had a prior conviction and was sentenced to 5 years. The third guy wasn't in the house, and I don't think they ever found him. To this day, he's still out there for all I know. And on several occasions since then, I've woken up to sounds from outside when the windows are open, like
What the
footsteps in the side
fuck?
walkway to the backyard, or the gate swinging open and closed. It could just be my imagination or being paranoid, but I do still worry for mine and my family's well-being. Enough time has passed now that I think that man fled the country, or at the very least knows better than to ever show his face in this town again. But still, it is something that hangs in the back of my mind.
Yeah, no shit. I'd be I'd be paranoid after that, especially if they haven't captured like the other man, the third one. So there was 4 of them. Okay. Shit. That was about a 9, 9.5. That was about 9.5, 10 almost. Holy shit. Those other 2 stories weren't even that bad. That one was about 9.5, 10. I'd say a 10 because of the gun. Fucking hell. Oh, I've got chills down my spine. Like, comment down below. What would you do if someone held you at gunpoint and they were robbing you? And then they said if you told anybody, they would come and kill you and your entire family. What would you do in that situation? Let me know in the comments. But damn. Okay. So that was 3 scary true pizza delivery horror stories, volume 5. Yeah, that they were terrifying. Well, the last one was absolutely shocking. The first one was so stupid. It was dumb. Like, why would you go in the house in the fucking first place? What was the point of even going in the house? You were on the job, me guy. You were on the job. It wasn't your job to go into random people's homes and start flirting with them. Just because, oh yeah, your friends will start making, start being think you're weird for not hanging out with. They're not even there. Like, yeah. And the second story was eerie as hell. Like, I wouldn't have gone into that place. It was sus to begin with. Like that piano playing, like the grass that was long as hell, the broken fence. Like, I wouldn't have gone in there. That was so scary, creepy. Like, couldn't be any more creepier than any other story that we've watched. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. Please subscribe, turn the notification, and click bell beside you. I love you guys so much. Thanks for watching. Bye!